Hi guys, this is Laurel. It's been a hot minute since I've done a scrapbooking video, so I thought it was high time that we did it. And so I just thought for today I've had Photoshop Elements 2018 sitting on my desk for I don't know, 3 months now. I think my husband got it for me at a Black Friday sale. So what I just wanted to do with this is just a few things here. First, I wanted to show you what I do in Photoshop Elements every time I upgrade to a new version, how I set up the screen so that I can scrapbook more efficiently and successfully. And also, so first things first, when you this is how Photoshop Elements generally looks when just after you install it. Like I pop the disk in my my CD-ROM drive or DVD drive, whatever you want to call it, and installed it. Followed the steps for that, which is fairly self-explanatory. It'll prompt you on the screen, and then you come in and it looks like this. And you notice that when I was in the previous version I had was Photoshop Elements 15, and you notice that my setup was a little bit different, and that's because I haven't set it up optimally yet. So this is what I'm going to show you. So the first thing you're going to do, so you don't just have this big open space, so you have something that looks like a workspace to do things, is we're going to go down here to this this grouping of these icons down here. And what I'm going to do first and foremost is click on More. This right here, that little arrow next to the More folder. And you can see all these things, but you want to go down to the very bottom choice and choose Custom Workspace and click it. Okay, this is going to bring up the panel bin, which is just this area right here. And then you can see we've got all these tabs: layers, effects, filters, styles, yada 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 yada. Okay. For myself personally, what I do is I close some of these tabs within this bin right here, because I don't use all of them on a regular basis, and I can just go and click from the pull down menu. So what I'm going to do first is click on the tab that says Effects, and I'm going to right click on it and click Close. Now, don't worry, this is not deleting that tab, the Effects tab, out of your program. You can always find it again if you want to go back down to More. But if I go and click Layers again, it would bring up the exact same tab with all of those. So that is never gone from the program, that tab I just closed. I'm just closing it because I don't need it out all the time. And I'm going to do the same exact thing with these artistic filters because I don't use them much. I'm going to skip over the Styles tab, and I'm going to go up here to Graphics because I don't like these and they're really ugly, so I'm going to close them too. So now you can see I've got two tabs over here in the panel bin. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the Styles tab. You can see I can move it straight out of there. And so it's its own little menu now, or its little window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here next to the word Styles on this gray bar. Oh, maybe, there we go. And it's going to minimize it. So what I'm going to do now is bring it down closer to the bottom, because the layers palette is in the panel bin over here. This is what this is. This is where we're going to see each item that we put into our project, whether it's the background paper, an element like stitching or a button. All of those are going to go right there. My styles are still down here minimized. So now I'm going to go click More again, and now I've got this window here. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick and choose what I want out of here, much the same way that I did with the layers tabs that I had up here. So now I'm going to go ahead and close the Info tab, as well as the History tab. And again, those are all going to be right down here again if I ever need to find them. And Navigation. And I'm going to keep Actions, and I'm going to grab just the Actions section and pull it right on out of there. Okay, because I want that one, I want this window to be accessible separately. And I'm going to click right here on this gray bar, minimize it, and I'm going to set it right on top of Styles over here in the panel bin. And now I'm going to go over here and click Histogram and close that because I don't really use that much. And I haven't done this in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and minimize the color swatches, but I'm going to drag a menu. And I'm going to just move that up and I'm going to put my styles right there. So I'm just going to move my styles, my color swatches, and my actions palettes all down there. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to simply just, I can see a good chunk of my layers. You know, this will cover the very bottom portion of any layers. If my layer, the number of layers gets really big or long, but I can always click on these and find my actions and do the same thing with the color swatches, and it leaves the other tabs minimized when you do this, so it keeps it out of your way when you're not using it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add actions that you either download for free or buy or have on your computer somewhere in a file. So what I've done here is these first 4 folders here are ones that come with Photoshop elements. They're the defaults that come. They actions are part of something that's called a part of Photoshop called presets, and these are tools that you can set up in these palettes and a couple of the tools on the toolbar, and they allow you to manipulate your photos and do fun things with them, make them look better. Actions themselves are little sets of instructions or steps that you can tell Photoshop what to do with. You know, usually it's a photo. Sometimes you can use them on other actions too, or other items too, but I use mine primarily on photos. And they're really, really handy. You can make one that, there's ones that will like turn your photos sepia if it's like just a regular color photo, or you can turn a color photo black and white, or you can add like a snowflake effect and other things to your pictures. And I find that scrapping with actions is a game changer. So I wouldn't want to honestly be scrapping without them. So I found this one on my hard drive, and so I've installed that one in, and it's really simple. So what I'm going to suggest that you guys do if you don't have actions is to visit the coffee shop blog, and I will put the link to the coffee shop blog down in the description bar. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go down to Firefox, my internet browser, and I'm going to just do a Google search. Coffee shop blog. I'm going to go ahead and find that. Now, if you go up here to the section of her blog called Goodies, and you scroll down, the second item on that pop-down menu is called Photoshop PSE Actions, and PSE just means Photoshop Elements. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down and find an action that I like, because all of these are 100% free. You can pay for one big download. She charges you a fee to bundle them all up and in a convenient download for you. And I would, if you want to do that, this would be a great blog to support because she's so generous with all these actions. You can download them individually for free. So let's see here. I have some winter photos. Some photos I'm going to be scrapbooking of my kids here from when they were younger. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. This is called Winter Portrait Luxe. So, there we go. Let me see. Download the Coffee Shop Winter Portrait Luxe Photoshop PSE Action. So that's what I'm going to click right here. So I'm going to go find that link here, and I'm going to copy it because I don't want it in my downloads folder. And what I normally do with my actions, because I get different, because I occasionally upgrade to different versions of Photoshop Elements, I keep a file that has one for my actions, another file for my brushes, my Photoshop Elements brushes, another one's for my layer styles in one spot, because what that allows me to do is every time I upgrade, I have all my stuff in one folder. See, here's my folder for actions. And I've got a folder already created in this on my desktop thing for this desktop folder for Coffee Shop Actions. So I'm going to put that here. And there it is right there. Okay, now these other three that I've got, I also got from the Coffee Shop blog, these actions. I'm going to go ahead and unzip them just by clicking on them. What we've got here now is I'm going to go to this top. Here's the one that I just downloaded. And when you go to put files into your actions palette in the editor, like I showed you earlier, what you need to do is look for the file that has the extension .atn. Those are your actual action files. Like this one, when I'm in the Coffee Shop Sweet Cupid, it has the action file right there, the ATN, and it has the terms of use. Well, the terms of use doesn't do me any good. So that's what I want to look for in each of these. In each of these files, I want to look for the ATN because those are the ones that I want to install into Photoshop Elements. So now that I know that those are there, you've seen how you deal with action files and unzip them. Let's go back to Photoshop Elements 8 2018. Now what I'm going to do is in the actions palette right here, this little menu, this little thing here, you can see this doodah with the lines and the little down arrow. It's a little menu. You're going to come down here, and this one right here, it says Load Actions. What this does is it brings a flyout menu, and I'm going to go back to my desktop and find my Actions folder, go back to that exact same place where I had my coffee shop files. I'm going to grab the Coffee Shop Winter Portrait Luxe ATN, the one I showed you on the website, and I've clicked it so that it's highlighted, so that it's selected or highlighted, however you want to say it, and then I'm going to click Open. Now you can see that this is really easy. It's popped in the Coffee Shop Winter Portrait Luxe right into this Actions panel right here. So now let's do it again just so you guys can see. Load Actions. So since these other ones are all in folders, I have to go over one to get the ATN file. I'm going to click Coffee Shop Creamy Hazy Light .atn, and I'm going to click Open, and boom, there it goes. It's popped in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this off because I don't want you to have to sit through watching me load all my actions, but it's pretty simple. So I'll do, after I finish all of this, then I'll come back on and we'll show you how I load in my layer styles, because those are awesome too. Okay guys, so now I've showed you how to, I showed you in the last one how to upload actions or how to get them into your panel bin over here. And so now I want to talk to you about the styles bin right here. Now you can see that Photoshop Elements does give you a few presets, but I'll be really honest with you, like these are so ugly. I've never ever used them. I don't know, some of these I just don't understand the purpose of them. They don't fit in for me as a digital scrapbooker. The one that's called Bevels is the one I probably use the most. But anyways, the drop shadows one can be helpful too. But these are just, they're fine, but I don't have enough of the things that I want to do. So there are many designers out there who have created layer styles. What a layer style does is, where an action will run a little set of steps, or a little progression of steps to make an item look some way or to cause an effect or do something. Not a drop shadow necessarily. These drop shadows are one kind of layer style. But what I like to do is if I have an effect I'm trying to go through for, like for instance, when I try to do vellum, I have a really, really hard time creating my paper to look like vellum. What I can do is create a rectangle using the shape tool, make sure that it's mostly white if I want it white vellum, and then I can just decrease the transparency and put a small drop shadow behind it, but it doesn't quite look the way that I want. So I'd rather instead just go find a layer style that somebody else has already created that can make my white paper look more like a piece of vellum. So that's what I'm going to do. And there are layer styles that make, like if you type in a font, like a title with a font like hello, you can make the font look metallic with a little enamel edge around the end. You can also make things look like cork, and so on and so forth. And these things go a long way to making your digital scrapbooking pages look more real and, you know, more, they don't look like they're just flat things sitting on top of, you know, a flat rectangle inside of Photoshop Elements. So I'm going to show you how I do my layer styles, both with one I just bought and ones I already have on my hard drive that I can show you. And the other thing I'd like you guys to understand too is that I'll give you a list to some places you can find some good layer styles. I haven't found too many layer styles for free yet. Maybe if some of you do, you can just let me know below where you found them. But I'm going to go to one of my favorites, which is Leah Riordan at the Lily Pad. Her store is called Mommyish, and she has, as I talked about before, she has a vellum style that I'm going to show you and I'm going to load in. So what we're going to do now is, whenever you buy something from a digital scrapbooking store, you generally get an email and they'll give you the download keys. So I'm going to go ahead and click this link right here that you see, because that's what I get after I pay for the item for this layer style. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, here is my download link for this layer style. So I'm going to go ahead and click next to this red button, and it's going to send it down into my downloads. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrow at the top here. Okay, so here is my style right here. So what I'm going to do, as I did with my actions, I always take my layer styles, I copy them into a place on my desktop, and I have a file here called layer styles. So I am going to go ahead and paste that in there. There it is, Style in 260. Okay, now anytime that you go to load a style, the type of file you're looking for is called, the suffix is .asl. So we can see this is the Mommyish ... whatever, Style in 260 vellum ASL. It's pretty much the same process you had with your actions, but we're just looking for a different ending on that file name. Instead of ATN, we want .asl. So we're going to go down here to load styles. So I'm going to go back to my desktop, go back to layer styles, and here are all my layer style files that I can load, the ones that are green. Or not green, they're darkened in. Now the biggest thing is you don't want to load any JPEGs or anything else. If you really, really, really want everything to be in alphabetical order, you can just do it in the order that your that your computer is showing you here. So here's my, let's go find that the vellum one that I just put in here somewhere. It's right there. So I'm just going to go up here and do a few of these and put them in my layers, my styles palette. So it's right there. And I'm just going to repeat that process, and I will show you exactly, I'll show you me loading in the other one as well. Okay, now here we are. This is the style that I just bought today, that vellum style, and I'm going to click on it, find that .asl file, click open, voila, and there it goes. What I'm going to do now, just to show you why I love layer styles so much, is I'm just going to go to Picasa, which I'm using right now is to organize my digital supplies, and I'm just going to pull out any old paper. This blue one hopefully will be good enough for us to show you how this vellum style works. Is I'm going to go to the shape tool, and I'm just going to grab a basic shape, one that's not too crazy. Let's do this snowflake shape right here since it's winter. Okay, now this is black, which I don't want. You could probably do black vellum, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to do, I'm going to simplify it first, because some of these you have to click simplify layer here on the flyout there. And I'm going to hit X to get the white. And we're going to go to edit, fill layer. Okay, so there is a cute little white snowflake on the back sitting on top of a blue and white piece of paper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this layer style, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I don't have to let anything run like in Actions. I just click it. I just click the layer style. Okay, and you can see that's added, it says FX in here, it's added a bit of a glow, not really any drop shadow. So we're going to go ahead, and this is the undo button for most layer styles will have an undo button, or go back to the default style. Now let's go down here to this one. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this is a lot lighter and a lot thinner. The settings here are different. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add another style, which is a set of drop shadows that I have in my styles palette. I'm going to go ahead and click this one, and there's one that's called Velo Tape or something. I can't remember. Tape. So I'm going to put the tape, I'm going to put 2 layer styles on this one. Now you can see I've got this cute little shadow here. Okay, so let's go back to the styles palette. Let's scroll down and find that Mommyish 260, which is vellum. And let's take this one off and try that first one again. Okay, I'll take that one off. They're all just really subtle differences. See, there's another one that's more see-through. But I just really like doing it this way. I think in the future I'm going to do a separate video just on layer styles. So if you guys want to see that, you can catch me on another one on that. Okay. One last thing I wanted to show you guys that I've kind of already showed you in another video how to install brushes, but I just wanted to cover this really quickly with you guys. Anytime that I switch versions of Photoshop Elements, I always go and I always load my brushes into the preset manager in Photoshop Elements so that I have them when I first start to scrapbook. Now, I am going to link you to that other video. You can either go into your old presets in the previous version of Photoshop Elements and copy those and paste them into your presets, or you can do what I do, which is to go to my desktop folder. And you find your desktop folder. Like, I have a desktop folder for my brushes. Where are my brushes? They're right. This is my brushes folder. Or I can come in here and I can go to desktop and brushes and click them here. So just to show you a different way, I'm going to click on my brushes. And the way that you find, if you don't have it set up already, what you can do is go into Applications, and then I will go into Adobe Photoshop Elements 2018. Support Files and Presets, okay, and Brushes. That will bring you to the exact same place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything in this folder where it says copy 49 items. I have 49 brushes installed. And then what I'm going to do is I would go into my newest version of Photoshop Elements, Support Files, Presets, and Brushes, and this is where I would copy and paste them, or I'd paste them. I've already pasted these in here. I just wanted to show you guys how I did that. This one is the easiest of the bunch because these are put in the preset folder inside the support files. It's super duper easy to do this. Since some of you are still on a PC and doing this, I will go ahead and place the path for how to do this on a PC. And if you want to see more in depth, I encourage you to check out my other video on installing versus loading brushes, and that should do it. Because at this point, once you have these things set up, once you have your brushes over in the toolbar, where you can actually pick from the whole list of brushes that you just installed in there. You also have any actions that you've loaded in the way that I showed you, and you have any of your layer styles. These are the ones I have on my computer. To me, Once this part is done, you are fully set, and you can do a lot of stuff here. You know, everybody has different preferences about other items they like to add in, but these are the main ones: actions, brushes, layer styles, and color swatches. When you have these set up, you've done half the battle of being able to get a wonderful scrapbook page made in Photoshop Elements. So you guys, if you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments, or contact me on my social media or through my email, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, everybody, have a good day. Bye.